What's good? What's good? What's good? Let me make sure I can hear myself. Think I'm good. Yeah, y'all. I know it's late today. I know. I know it's late. It's like almost midnight. But hey, if I'm up, why not? Why not do it? I'll be closer to actually establishing an actual schedule really soon. So that's good. So yeah, whatever times are actually suggested, I'll take note of that. I'll take note of, whatever times are suggested because I want to make these times consistent instead of me just kind of randomly hopping on. Okay. So today what I'm going to talk about is actually, first of all, let me properly greet you. How are y'all? I hope your week has been going good. And for those of you who celebrate Valentine's Day, or maybe you refer to it as Love Day, hope you got some good plans in store. Anyhow, today we're talking about the key of C, in particular, the open position on guitar. And we would like to know, or I would like to show you how to play every single chord within the major key of C. And just all seven chords basically. Okay. So that's what I want to do. Just show you how to do that. And let me get this out of the way. And maybe I can put this right here. Yeah. I realized it was outside of the frame last time. So yeah, the key of C. This is like the foundation key of learning Western music a lot of times. And when you're learning guitar, learning piano especially, it's all the white keys. So oftentimes I go back to the basics on guitar and show some key of C stuff. And you can do a lot with it. And to be quite honest with you, when you learn things in one key, you know how to play the same stuff in every key. And the same thing is true on piano. Even though there are black and white keys, it's also true that if you can play on the white keys, you can play on all the keys. All the intervals are the same. The shapes are the same. They don't look the same because you have the black keys. But if those black keys were white keys, all the spacings and the intervals and the shapes would all look the same. The black keys just kind of throw you off a little bit. So let me get started. And today I actually won't have any charts. So sorry about that. I'll probably do an actual like edit where I may edit this video and put the charts in there. Okay. Or just record a separate video. So for any of you who are joining me, this is beginner, intermediate. There are probably some advanced players that don't know how to do this, and it's very simple, okay? At least in my opinion. Anyway, let's get started. And let's start with the C major chord. And most of us who already know how to play guitar should know this. And we know how to play this. I'm going to kind of finger pick or strum one of them. So we all know this hand position to be C major. Okay. Real simple, right? But I'm going to show my hand a little closer before I move on. So, and this is for anyone, if it's new for you, I personally don't neglect going back to the basics. I actually enjoy doing it. And I incorporate basic things into my warm-ups as well. All right. So anyway, my ring finger actually, not my index, but my ring finger is on my 3rd fret on the A string. All right. So you can see where that is. My middle finger is on the 2nd fret of my D string. Index finger is 1st fret of my B string. So That's how that looks. All right. So let's go to the next chord. And the C chord is actually referred to as, within the key of C major, the C major is the 1. Okay. So just for review, let's make sure that we know how the scale looks. And I'm not really going over the scale, but you get a sense of like what I'm actually doing. You can play it a couple of different ways. You can do the symmetrical approach like I just did. That's starting in the 3rd fret on your A string. You can play 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, then go to your D string, same frets, and then go to your G string, your 4th fret, okay, and then your 5th fret. So it's 3rd, 5th, 7th, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 4th, 5th on the A, D, and G string. All right. I know that was quick, but that's not, I ain't here to talk about that. But yeah, but the C is where all of this starts. And where those notes fall on the scale, a chord is actually attached to that. So here's the C major. Here's the D minor. And right now I'm breezing through this because I'm showing you the open chords, but I want to show you the barred chords so that you can hear it. You can actually hear it. Okay. That's D minor, E minor. Here's F major. Same as right here. This is G. That's the 5. So let's start back over here. 1 is C. D minor is the 2. E minor is the 3. F major is the 4. G major is the 5. Or I can go here. A minor is the 6. B, what do I want to call this? I mean, you can say half diminish. You can play this. But you can actually play, it's like a G over B chord. Then you're back to C. That G over B can also look like this. Right here. So you're playing a G major, but you're going to play the B on top of that major chord. So the major chord is right here. I'm going to switch my fingers right here, but I'm going to play the B on top. So all the chords is like this. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 1. Because we can play it in all different types of places, all different types of positions. Okay. So you can play it from one string. You can play it from multiple strings. However, so back to the C. There's the C major. Now remember when I went to the D minor? Now when I went to that D minor, I can play it here. I can bar it, but I could also play it in the open position. So here's a D. Here's an open D right here. Okay, which is the 4th string up. 1, 2, 3, 4. But here's the actual chord that belongs to. that's in the open position. So I can play it here, or I can play it here as well. Okay. Now the way you play that is index finger, first fret, high E string right here. Third fret on your B string right here. This is where my pinky is. And middle finger is on my second fret on my G string, and then the open D. And you can use your thumb to actually mute these top. So when I play, they're not going to ring out. Now I can remove my thumb and just play the top 4 strings right here and just not play them. But just to make sure, you can just do that. All right. So that's the D. That's the D minor. Sorry about that. So you can play it C major, C major, C major, D minor. All right. And I think many of you know this, but the pattern is major, minor, minor, major. It's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, half diminished, then back to the major. All right, so major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, half diminished, back to 1. So the way the chart looks is like M, yeah, major, minor. I don't want to do that mind thing, but there's a pattern, and that it applies to all major keys. I'll put a chart in with it so you have a visual, because I'm just talking right now. So and also, excuse me, like at night, I be talking real quiet. My daughters are downstairs asleep, or I think they're asleep. So sometimes I'm talking quietly because my daughters are asleep, and I'm keeping this in mind. So I'm going to attempt to talk a little louder, and they'll get used to it. So anyway, major, minor, C, D minor, E minor. Also 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the E minor. 4 is the F. That's the major. Or you play here. All right, so how we did the 1. I might be a little redundant. We did the 2, which is D minor. Now we're going to do the 3, which is E minor. Now the E minor is actually like the E is open right here, so you could actually play it right here. It's the same as this. It's open right here. Now so far we're playing this. So we got 1, 2, 3, and this is all in the open position. So the way that you play an open E minor is you clearly play your low E right here, but both in the second fret on your A and D string. That's it. It don't matter if you use like certain chords. It don't matter what fingers you use as long as you hit the chord. Hit the fret. You can use ring finger, pinky. You can use middle finger, ring finger. You can use index finger, middle finger. It don't matter, okay? But to be quite honest with you, to make it even easier, you don't even have to play those lower notes. So remember, you can still play like the higher portion of the chord on guitar, and you don't have to play the full, like, it can just be this. And it's still a E minor. In fact, I actually, I also add my pinky right there to the 3rd fret on the high E string. So here's what we have so far. 1, 2, 3. So you can already do like a progression right there. So This is why it's so important to know these chords, because you can literally make a song after you know 2 chords. And there are some songs that only got 1 chord in it. But anyway, there's the 3. So now let's recap. We got C, we got D minor, and we have E minor. So we have those so far. So that's the open. Let's reference the bar chords as well. I'm not explaining those, but I'm just showing you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 1. Back to 1. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the F. Here's also F. But we're not going to play F like this. We're not going to play. It's actually, if your strings aren't set up at the right height, for some guitar players, this could be difficult to play. But just like the E minor, and this is not exactly an open chord, but it's down that way. But just like the E minor, you don't have to play the whole chord. You can play like the top half right here. And mute those top strings. Like, get comfortable doing that. Get comfortable muting the lower strings with your thumb. At least the lower 2 strings. All right. And this is all you're going to play right here. Now, ring finger, 3rd fret on your D string. Middle finger, 2nd fret on your G string. And your index finger is barring on the 1st fret the E and B string. And it sounds like this. So instead of this, you'll just be playing this. Okay. So now let's cover it from 1 to 4, because the F major is the 4. Boom, 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 boom. Now you got even more chords. So let's say you wanted to do a chord progression. So starting with the 1. There's the 3, 2, 4. So we got 4 chords under our belts now, in the key of C, in the open position. You know, of course the F is technically not open unless we're playing like a open note that's not fretted, which is like F major 7. I'm not playing that on that high E string. So now let's do the 5. Now here we go. C, D minor, E minor, F major. Here is G major. Okay, G major is also up here. Here it is here as well. Now you can also play this G major in this position, which is an open position basically. Okay. So I'll tell you what the full chord is, but we're not gonna play that full thing. It's not necessary. So actually, for the sake of this, we will play the full chord, but just understand that in a lot of cases you don't have to play the full chord. So 3rd fret is on the G note, which is the 3rd fret of the E string right here. This is where my ring finger is. 2nd fret of your A string, this is where my middle finger is, and my pinky, 3rd fret of my high E string. So it's easier to remember because my ring finger and my pinky are doing the same thing, because both of these strings are tuned to E. There's the chord. So now we have 5 chords. Here we go. 1, 2. That was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you can make a do a chord progression with 5 chords in it, and you can change the order in whatever order you want it to be. So let's say I want to start with the E minor, which is the, what's that, the 3? And the 1 is the C. The G is the 5. The F. So we can do that. So, and here's the D, if you want to just add it in there. So now let's go to the 6. So C, 1, the D minor is 2, the E minor is 3, the F major is 4, G major is 5. Now we're moving to the 6. Now this is the same as the open A minor, which I'm not mad if you play instead of an A minor, you play an A minor 7, so you can lift your ring finger, but your 2nd fret on the D string and 1st fret of your B string. That's a A minor 7. But if you want to use your ring finger, you can do also 2nd fret of your G string. So instead of, you can play, it sounds a little bit warmer. So versus this. So, but it's a little bit easier to play though. So now you have 6 chords, and we only have one more chord after this. Okay. So let's do all 6. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is what we got so far. All right. This is very powerful. It's very powerful to know how to do this on guitar and in music, period. When you know how to do this, you know how to count it, and everyone understands that you can actually count. If you can count to 7, and if you know your A through G, you know your alphabets through G, you can actually communicate to one another using the same terminology, and everyone understands what's happening. Okay. So again, C is 1, D minor is 2, E minor is 3, F major is 4, G major is 5. I was about to say G major is 4. That's not right. A minor is 6. Now we're going to the 7. The 7 is a lot of times referred to as like a half diminished chord, but I don't really want to go that route. I want to actually use a simpler version of the 7. Okay, and there's actually a major chord within that 7. So you already know how to play your G major. All right, and the fretted G major looks like this. Which is the higher portion of this. Okay, of that chord, the G major. But you can also play the G major like this. So, to simplify this, you can just lift your ring finger. Like, remember how to play the G major, and just lift your ring finger, and you're just going to play this. That's it. And one added thing is you can actually keep your middle finger where it is, but your pinky can actually go on the third fret of your B string, and it just adds to the clarity of the chord. So this can be your 7. Now technically this is a G major over B. That's what you would call it, a G major over B. The reason why is because your root note is that 7, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 1. Now, the reason why I'm bringing my thumb over is because I'm muting that low note will ring out. Okay, so I just do that. All right, so that B is the 7. That's where the, instead of playing a, we'll talk about that another time, but sometimes that brings a little bit of confusion. So now we got all 7 chords. We made it. And I think I might do this under 30 minutes. I think I'm the only one on here. So if no one else hops on and you don't have any questions, we pretty much have this done under 30 minutes. But let's do all the chords. 1, C major. 2, D major. 3 is E major. Oh Lord, let me start over. 1 is the C major. 2 is the D minor. 3 is the E minor. 4 is the F major. 5 is the G major. 6 is the A minor. 7 is the G major over B. But you can play it open like this. That's the 7. Back to 1. Now, here's the power of all this. When you know every single chord within a major key and you know what numbers they belong to, now you can sit within a band situation, or just maybe 2 guitar players, or a keyboard player and guitar player, or a bass guitar player and a guitar player, and you can just call out numbers. And if you're in the same key, you can just say, hey, let's start out in the key of C, and we're gonna play 1, 4, 3, 2. You know what I'm saying? And then what ends up happening, okay, 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay, is that what you want to play? All right, cool. So that's a 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay. What's next? All right, so this time let's play a 2, 6, 3, 1. Oh, 2. Okay, 2, 6, 3, 1. All right. Okay, 2. What did I say? 2, 3, 6, 1. Is that what I said? 2, 3, 6, 1. There you go. Let's play a 5, 4, 1, 2. I said 2. 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 5. So there's power in that, and you can write millions of songs knowing this information. Okay, so therefore you can make lots of money. You can get a return on your investment. All right, so hey, we did it under 30 minutes. I may not click it before that, but I love you. Subscribe if you would like, and I hope that this was helpful information. And let me know if you need help with it. I don't think anyone is on right now, but Thank you so much for listening. Any of you who watches the replay. And again, I hope that it's helpful. Hope you have a good night. Peace.